Hello and welcome to another episode of Scott Reads Comics. Today I'll be covering the official handbook of the Marvel Universe, Update 89, number 3. As we have seen with our previous coverage of the official handbook, deluxe editions, and the regular editions, we have a nice wraparound cover here with some pretty cool green livery on the logo. This issue covers Eon to Hulk. So let's dive in and take a look. In our front matter, we have our credits. Peter Sanderson, writer-researcher. Andy Yanchus, colorist. David Wall, page design. Ed Lazarelli, production. Greg Wright, editor. Mark Grunwald, executive editor. Joe Rubenstein, inker and embellisher. Linda Strunk, typesetter. Marcus McLaurin, page design. Ron Friends, cover penciler. Sarah Chashinsky, assistant editor, and Tom DeFalco, editor-in-chief. And we lead off with an entry on Eon. This character featured prominently in Mark Grunwald's Quasar run. He is one of those, cosmic characters. And actually, this artwork is provided by none other than Mark Grunwald himself, who is an excellent artist, but didn't do very much later in his career, mostly just worked as a writer for Marvel, and what a writer he was. Sorry to have lost him many years ago now. But yeah, this is the Eon character. His first appearance was Captain Marvel number 29. I'll just read a bit of the first paragraph here. Eon is a sentient, quasi-physical entity, roughly 20 feet in height, that resembles a tree with certain humanoid features and possesses great power and considerable knowledge of the cosmos. And he was like Quasar's cosmic advisor. Next up, we have an entry on the Team Excalibur with artwork from Alan Davis. You can definitely recognize those distinctive Alan Davis marks and musculature. No one does it quite like him. And they were a lot of X-Men, as you can see, Nightcrawler, Phoenix, and Shadowcat among them, Captain Britain, Megan. They had some pretty unique villains and some cool adventures with a definite UK slant. Next up, we have the Fallen Angels with artwork by Colleen Duran. They started out in Fallen Angels number 1, which is a limited series. And it was a motley assemblage of Marvel mutants and other outcasts like Devil Dinosaur, Dawn, and Bill the Talking Lobsters. It was a little bit of a weird time in Marvel when they brought this team together. It was interesting that Vanisher was sort of the team's, almost like their Fagin, in terms of like a group of child thieves that he gathered together around him to do his bidding. So I think Kerry Gammill did the original artwork in the series, and it was pretty good. Facade, Sheikh Farouk El Fasad. First appearance in Origin, Fantastic Four 308. And let's see who draws Facade. Keith Pollard. Solid work there by Keith Pollard. Next up is Fin Fang Foom. First appearance, Strange Tales 89. The artwork on Fin Fang Foom is by none other than Walt Simonson. Nice Simonson piece there. Some of these Marvel monster type characters, they don't give them a normal entry where they have height, weight, strength level, things like that. So somewhere locked in here are Fin Fang Foom's powers and abilities, but this mainly concerns his background, history, that sort of thing. Force, alias Clayton Wilson. First appearance in Origin as Wilson, Submariner 67, as Force, Submariner 68. And this artwork is pretty distinctive. This could be Bob Layton. Let's take a look here. It is Bob Layton. He has those distinctive marks and stylings, especially when he's drawing power armor, where you just kind of know it's him. And let's see. Strength level. Without the battlesuit, Force possesses the normal human strength of a man of his age. In the battle armor, he can lift press roughly 10 tons. It also gives him it contains miniaturized generators that can create powerful force fields. So let's see. Force can also project force fields strong enough to support up to 20 tons of weight. Looks like he can fly as well. 960 miles per hour. So it's pretty formidable character. I do kind of like the costume design as well. The Foreigner, excellent Spider-Man villain, very cool character. This looks like Sal Buscema maybe here. Let's take a look. It is our pal Sal. On the excellent artwork here on the Foreigner. 6'2", 180 pounds, real name unrevealed. First appearance, Spectacular Spider-Man 115. Strength level, the Foreigner possesses the normal human strength of a man of his age, height, and build who engages in intensive regular exercise. Through intense concentration, he can perform nearly superhuman feats of strength. So they give him no superpowers, but to me, that's a superpower. The Foreigner is perhaps the world's most highly skilled assassin. He is said to have mastered every known method of killing another person, as well as 6 that are unknown to anyone but himself. So is he the world's greatest assassin? Maybe Elektra is, maybe Bullseye is, but no, I guess we could throw this guy's name into the ring as well. He's a cool character, sort of a menacing villain. A bit of new blood since he came along in Spectacular Spider-Man 115. Another, I would say, worthy addition to Spider-Man's Rogues Gallery. Jane Foster with artwork from Dawn Heck. Her first appearance, Journey into Mystery, number 84. We get some cool action panels here with Jane Foster. And this rune staff, which I believe belonged to Kamo Tharn, she becomes tied to Sif, who was Thor's Asgardian love interest. And next up, we have 4 Freedoms Plaza with some of those very distinctive and on-brand marble cutaway designs, floor plan designs. We expect this now from the Handbook of the Marvel Universe, and we certainly get more of it here. And 4 Freedoms Plaza is, of course, Elliot R. Brown. Next up, we have the Frightful Four, courtesy of Keith Pollard. Their first appearance was Fantastic Four number 36. They've had many iterations, but it's cool that they arranged this is their original iteration with Wizard, Sandman, Trapster, Medusa. Then Thundra came along, replacing Medusa. Then the Brute got involved, who was an alternate Earth version of Reed Richards, who could transform into a massive being of superhuman strength. Electro then came in as that 4th member. Lyra. Hydro Man, I think at some point might have replaced Sandman, as he eventually went straight. Claw, and then the second Titania, as of FF236, according to this. Titania number 2. So, always a fun assemblage of villains for the FF to face. Garrock, the Petrified Man. This looks very much like Art Adams. Let me check on that. No, it's Kevin Maguire. Really cool artwork here. First appearance, Astonishing Tales number 2. Origin, Astonishing Tales number 3. So let's see. He just has energy-wielding powers, basically. There's some cool Kevin Maguire right here. I wonder when he drew this. Interesting. Here he is facing off with Cyclops. Yeah, he faced the X-Men in the Savage Land with Zaladane in their first go-round, and then he showed up again to menace them a number of times. Gateway, this looks like textbook Mark Silvestri here. Let me double-check that, because this is from the Outback era of X-Men, yep. And he first appeared X-Men 227. He was that mysterious teleporter. And then we have more Mark Silvestri here doing the artwork on Genosha. And looks like Genosha first appeared around X-Men 235, 236 was that original Genosha story. And this is all Silvestri here. I loved his run on the X-Men in the late 80s, early 90s. It was solid. Really enjoyed it. Ghost, this is definitely Mark Bright here. Classic. I love Mark Bright's artwork. Originally just got back into acquiring issues of G.I. Joe, and I didn't realize Mark Bright had an excellent long run on G.I. Joe toward the end. Not in the last 10 or 20 issues, but I think in that middle period between 80 and 120, he did a number of issues with Randy Emberlin, I believe, inking him. But I digress. Ghost, real name unrevealed. First appearance, Iron Man 219. And Ghost is a really cool gadget villain. This is great Mark Bright artwork here in the action panels that they provide us with. His suit, I think, allows him to turn intangible, just like Shadowcat or Kitty Pryde can do. But he uses tech to do it. He also has a number of cool weapons, so he's never without something to menace Iron Man. Giants of Jotunheim. This is, I think, Sal Buscema right here. Let's double check. Oh no, Javier Solteras. Excellent. And they were some formidable Thor villains. Arc in the Week appeared in Journey to Mystery 109. Brymer, Journey to Mystery 104. Gone, Journey to Mystery 113. Kagor, Storm Giant, Thor 193. Norda, Journey to Mystery 109. Nedra, Journey to Mystery 105. And Skag, Journey to Mystery 104. So they have a very long history as villains for Thor. Goblin, this is definitely Jim Lee artwork from his formative years at Marvel and Alpha Flight. He got to pretty much cut his teeth in modern comics on that Alpha Flight run that he did. Goblin first appeared Alpha Flight 53, Origin Alpha Flight 54. Here we have Gomi. This is a member of the Fallen Angels. Let me check on the artwork for Gomi. I think we're going to get two straight Fallen Angels. That's Colleen Duran. First appearance, Fallen Angels number 2. Gomi is a cyborg possessing artificial psionic powers, which enable him to create a pillar of concussive force. Gomi has a companion mutant blue lobster named Bill, who has been turned into a cyborg. That's what I mean. Fallen Angels was just a weird title. Next up, Gossamer. First appearance, New Mutants 66. This is beautiful Brett Blevins artwork. He had a fun run on New Mutants in that period, the 60s, I think, through the 80s. Really cool. You get another little sampling of Blevins' artwork in the title during this period here. Very cool. Gossamer is an alien being in the first stage of development in her race's life cycle. In this larval stage, an individual of Gossamer's race is humanoid in form and highly immature in behavior. Let's see. Females of Gossamer's race emit an unknown form of energy, probably psionic, which intensifies the emotions of other humanoid beings in their immediate vicinity. Okay. We'll move on here to the Great Beasts. Could this be John Byrne? I don't think so. He had departed Marvel by this point. Yeah, Rodney Ramos doing his best John Byrne impression, I would say here. And not a bad one. Tundra, first appearance Alpha Flight number 1 and True Form number 24. Ronok the Great Devourer, Alpha Flight number 18. That was a great first Talisman story. That was a really cool story. Kolomak, first appearance Alpha Flight number 6. The less said about that travesty, the better. Great Beasts were cool menaces. Here's more of them. Kuriak the Corruptor, Alpha Flight 24. Somon the Great Artificer 24. Tanarak, well, they're calling him Sasquatch, so that'd be X-Men 120. Again, the less said about that, the better. Tolamok, Alpha Flight number 24. They're immensely powerful arcane beings in the Canadian pantheon. So they were perfect Alpha Flight villains. The Griffin, Johnny Horton is his real name. First appearance, Amazing Adventures number 15. So this is a pretty storied Marvel villain. Maybe second or third tier villain, but very powerful. The Griffin possesses superhuman strength rivaling that of Wonder Man, enabling him to lift press at least 90 tons. And he can fly, highly resistant to injury, and has built-in melee weapons. Really cool artwork here. I'm going to check that out. Who do we credit up? Jeff Sr. Okay. Next up, one of my favorite characters from Ron Frenz and Tom DeFalco's Long Thor run, Grog the Godslayer. Really cool character. First appearance, Thor 390. Grog possesses superhuman strength, enabling him to lift press roughly 30 tons. So he is a member of the gods of Egypt. He is 7 feet 1, 625 pounds. Grog possesses the conventional physical attributes of one of the gods of Heliopolis. As true immortals, the Heliopolians do not age and are not susceptible to disease. So he's super dense, tough to hurt, immune to a lot of different types of harm. Next up, the Growing Man. First appearance, Thor 140. The harder you hit this guy, the bigger he gets. Rich Buckler. Good choice for the art on this one. It's really nice. Next up is Half-Life. She was, I believe, a West Coast Avengers villain. And that's drawn by Scott Williams, one of those folks who would depart for Image not long after this. West Coast Avengers, second series, number 12 was her first appearance. Real name unrevealed, and she had various wasting radioactive powers. Hammerhead, real name unrevealed. After all these years, how can his real name be unrevealed? Amazing Spider-Man 113, Origin Amazing Spider-Man 114. I mean, this guy's been arrested at least a dozen times. How could his real name not be known? It is fun, though. Let's take a look at who draws him. Alex Saviuk, good choice. And he has no powers except he has like a steel plate in his head, and he's just a classic gangster. Fun character, fun villain. He wore an exoskeleton at one point when he was fighting the Human Torch, or made him kind of dangerous in a pretty cool Burn FF story. On to Harpoon with artwork by Jeff Sr. again. Real name unrevealed. First appearance, X-Men 210. He was a member of the Marauders. Harpoon is a mutant with the superhuman power to transform longitudinal objects into various unknown forms of energy. So basically, he hurls his harpoons, and they become energized, and they kill people. I think he was a cool character. Great hero clicks, actually. They've done a couple decent hero clicks for him, and I've used him in a number of games. He's great in my Villain Mission Force tabletop RPG games, just because he's kind of a lesser-known Ham and Egger type villain, and so he makes a good member of the Villain Mission Force. Headlock, another one of those West Coast Avengers villains. His first appearance is West Coast Avengers Volume 2, number 10. This may be the great Al Milgrom on artwork here. Let me take a look. No, Joe Jusko. Crazy. I would have never guessed. Headlock has a superhuman psionic ability to influence or control the minds of other beings. There he is, obviously controlling the Griffin here, who we saw earlier in this issue. Next up, the Headmen with artwork by John Byrne. I think because they probably were appearing in She-Hulk around the time of this publication. He was maybe doing a She-Hulk run. First appearance, Defenders number 21. Again, storied characters. Chondu the Mystic. Superhuman strength, he could lift press about 1 ton. Dr. Arthur Negan, superhuman strength, could lift press 2 tons. Plus he has the body of a gorilla. Ruby Thursday, just a weird villain. I love these characters. They're just so goofy. Rudy's artificial head is an organic computer made of an unknown substance that she can mentally induce to take various forms that move according to her mental commands. So, and then Dr. Gerald Morgan, who has no real powers. I guess he's just a super brain. Next up, Hobgoblin. There's no reason for me to check the art credits. This is Todd McFarlane all the way. Now I have to check to see if I've embarrassed myself, but I'm pretty sure that is Todd McFarlane. It is Todd McFarlane. Excellent. Hobgoblin's first appearance is Amazing Spider-Man Hobgoblin 2, Amazing Spider-Man 289, and then as Jack-O-Lantern, Machine Man 19. So yeah, so it's either Jason Macendale, who was originally Jack-O-Lantern, or another guy. So I believe is this the version who has, yes, he has augmented super strength. He can lift press 10 tons, which makes him the equal of Spider-Man. So he's got some kind of demonic enhancement. As a result of being transformed by Nastreth, the Hobgoblin now possesses superhuman strength. In addition, he possesses superhuman speed, roughly equivalent to that of Spider-Man. Next up, we have Cameron Hodge, one-time advisor to the Angel and an eventual nemesis. Let's see. Cameron Hodge, that's Javier Salteris. His first appearance was X Factor #1. Phineas Horton, this is some great John Byrne artwork here. His first appearance was Fantastic Four Annual #4. He's the original creator, I believe, of the robotic Human Torch, the android Human Torch. Here he is aged significantly, another great Byrne panel. Here is the Incredible Hulk, and I don't even have to check because it says they left it on the side. Pencils, Todd McFarlane. First appearance, Incredible Hulk #1. And then this version, I guess they're saying Incredible Hulk 312, the gray version. Eventually will become Mr. Fix-It in this form. They're saying here that when he's calm, he can lift press 70 tons and fully enraged. He has class 100 strength. Okay, so on our inside back cover, we have, I guess, a mea culpa here. Hello, I am Peter Sanderson, and I refuse to take any blame for the incorrect chameleon entry. I stayed up all night fixing the entry, and what happens? Some, as Ralph Macchio would say, dope, puts in this wrong one. Well, here is the correct version. So they corrected themselves here, and then they have some more data corrections. So yeah, there we have it. We continue our slow march through the official handbook of the Marvel Universe. Deluxe Edition Update 89. This was #3. I'm so glad you could join me. If you did enjoy the video, please like and subscribe, tell your friends, and I'll bring you more soon on Scott Reads Comics. Thanks for watching.